But now I look at it from different point of view. There is a setting, and it is a colonial setting in which there is a mighty British power, and I think it is one of the most glaring example of a fight of asymmetric powers, what we call today as an asymmetric warfare. Asymmetric warfare is that what does a weaker partner fight the war? And what are the chances of his success against a much powerful adversity? Probably Gandhi was a great strategician. He could understand and he could just think that in this asymmetrical war, probably his tools will have to be different. After Second World War, as late as this, that people started realizing that the brute force, if it has to be countered, whether there could be other alternatives. And in 90s, the concept of the soft power emerged, with Joseph Nye telling and being applauded as a great propounder of a new theory of power. Power is your ability to affect your adversary in the way that you want it to be affected. If I want you to do something and you can do what I want you to do, that is the power that I wield over you. Second war and the wars before and after that started proving that the military power, the brute power, is the most cost-ineffective instrument of achieving your political objectives. Whether the Americans could try it in Vietnam or in Afghanistan, or the Soviet Union in Afghanistan and others, they were asymmetric powers, but they found that the lesser power were able to vanquish them. But there are very few examples where the soft power has been able to dominate the hard power of an asymmetry, in an asymmetric warfare. Now, Gandhi was a very perfect practitioner of that. He could realize that his moral force, what we call as the soft power today is your moral force, the force and power of your culture, your civilization, your values and others, that would be able to defeat and vanquish a much more powerful hard power. And now, increasingly much more research and work is being done about how do the great powers start becoming the dominant power by exercising the soft power. And this actually started when in the 90s it appeared that there may be a decline of the major powers, with the Soviet Union disintegrating and the United States emerging as a single power but being dominated increasingly by the emergence of the new power centers. And that is the time when Joseph Nye came out with this thing that no, the United States would be able to remain afloat and remain buoyant in this power game because of this soft power, and it can multiply its soft power. And in that came the various variants of that. Now look at it, let us take the scenario of the 20s in India, when there's a mighty British power which has got the power of its army, its police, its laws, its judiciary, the entire global this thing was under its control, and there was a man with no resources to match it. He had nothing. That is the time when he thought that if he could mobilize the moral soul, the moral power, the soul power as he called it, and make it an instrument of, weaponize it, weaponizing your power of your moral strength to defeat a mighty empire. Probably to most it would have looked impossible.